All right, so wins and whiffs to wrap it up for tonight.
Yep, and then
my wife that text message that I sent the guy or the PM or whatever, the guy that was trying to scam me, and she's like, "You said that to him?" Yeah, I said that to him.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane and I'm here with John, Christopher, and Brandon. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another Wins and Wiffs of the Week. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube, or you may be listening on your favorite podcast app. Thank you for following us there as well. This is a visual episode, as always. We're going to share our new collectibles, so come on over to the YouTube channel, subscribe there, and watch us there as well. Check out the links below in the description. You can subscribe to our Patreon and get additional content and benefits. Oh, there goes Christopher. He's giving you a benefit right now. He's frozen. All right, here we are. It's Wednesday. We're proud of our collections. We want to flaunt them in front of your eyes. And then Christopher wants to sell them to you on rogue5toys.com.
Correct.
All right. Brandon is just about to pass you in sales, though, I believe.
Brandon, Brandon has been pumping. He is making me so proud. He's making me so proud.
Yeah,
we are like a two-pronged fork between me and him. That
what? If you see a fork in the road, take it.
A shrimp fork.
Yeah, cocktail fork.
We are just going back and forth all day with sales. It's been great, and it actually does relieve a lot of stress off of my shoulders to not feel like I need to list every single day just to keep the page active and stuff. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it takes the stress off of me because I'm just so happy I don't have to post every day things for sale.
You doesn't post anything.
No, yeah, I'm too lazy. I have so much to sell. I'm just too lazy.
Just sell it all to me.
The stuff keeps coming in, and it keeps coming in, and it keeps coming in. Like you saw a picture the other day that I sent, my wild find. I mean, my hands were shaking. I found a box of loose figures and a G.I. Joe vehicle. I mean, it was like, the box was like 6 inches deep of just Star Wars figures.
John, doesn't it boggle your mind? Like, do either of these guys ever mow the lawn or anything? Like, they're just scouting for toys. Like, Brandon is at every garage sale.
I have fake grass.
I'm going to say...
I'm benefiting.
I'm going to say Chris does not mow the lawn.
Does not mow the lawn.
Do you know how much my landscaper costs a week to mow my lawn? Do you want to know how much he charges me?
No. On the island.
$25 a week.
That's it?
That's it?
Get out of town.
I would totally do that.
I pay $100 a month. I do a spring cleanup and then a fall cleanup, and that is it.
I would totally do that.
Oh my God! I would
my
do that.
house is big. I have a lot of property, like grass and stuff, and that's it. $25.
Wow.
I have fake grass. We have landscapers that do the whole neighborhood, and then I just have somebody that does my backyard for me. But
yeah, I mean, the last time I got a quote was probably, I don't know, 6 years ago now, and they wanted like $55. Like, and most of my lawn is in the front yard because I have a pool in the back and a patio. And I was like, I'm not going to pay, like, how often would you do it? Like more than every other week, like every 10 days. So I'm not paying like $160 a month to mow my lawn.
Yeah.
Mine's once a week, $100. That's it, in and out.
Yeah.
This jackass kid next door to me, he said, I'll do it for $45. And I've got between half an acre and 3/4 of an acre of grass.
Jeez.
And he's like, I'll do it for $45. I was like, okay, cool, do it. And then he said, he did it, didn't weed eat anything. And I was like, how about you weed eat, buddy? And he's like, that'll be an extra $20. And I was like,
you're fired.
Okay, I was like, okay, do it. And then he went up to like $80. And I'm like, I got a mower, forget it, I'll do it.
One time I posted something in the neighborhood and like looking for a teenager who wants to make some money, like put out mulch or like whatever, like stuff in the yard. They think they're like 30-year-olds with like a whole crew landscaping. Kid's 15 years old. He's like, yeah, I can put down those bags of stone for you. It'll be $125. I'm like, where do they get off? Like he's got a landscaping company.
I used to go around with my brother when we were like, I don't know, 10 years old, 9, and we used to shovel snow in the wintertime, and we would charge this humongous house $30, $40. The whole house, driveway, sidewalk, stoop, everything. Nowadays, people walk by my house if it's snowing out. I had a kid ring the doorbell. He wanted $125. I'm like, $125? I said, what are you supporting, the whole family at home? I'm like, you're freaking 7 years old. Get out of here.
I just remember saying to my wife, whatever the minimum wage is now, like this is like 6-7 years ago. I'm like, if they're making like $15 at McDonald's, I'll pay somebody like $25 off the books. Like, it's not like you're lifting like boulders. Like, just come over and cut the grass or spread out some wood chips. And nobody wants to do anything physical. Pay me $200 and I'll come over for 3 hours. Well, anyway, thank God Brandon has time to scout the garage sales, and Christopher's got his U-Haul, and Rogue 5 Toys is flowing. All right. Let's get into the first win of the week.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know. We like to banter. Christopher, you are going first because you always go sort of last.
Here's a figure that I just wanted to show, and it already sold on Rogue 5.
Did you think that was like an 80s rap about to happen? Like an early 80s? Here's
start.
my toy, and I'm going to show you why.
But then John interrupted me, and then I kind of lost my footing, so I said, you know what, forget about it.
What did I do?
You kind of interrupted me, but it's all right, John. I had this for sale on Rogue 5. It sold in 0.3 seconds, but it's Wednesday's win worthy, so I decided to show it. And it is the Yoda Power of the Force.
I don't remember the styrofoam.
That is that is not factory right there. That is just to help with the blister. Because not only is it cracked on the side, these are very prone to cracking. So whether it was cracked or not, you always want to put support on the bottom. And it was cut just perfectly to fit underneath it to help my man, Mr. Yoda, from not falling through.
Oh.
Are you going to put one on the top, too, when you ship it?
No, I don't ship in acrylic.
I don't have one of those yet.
Do what?
I don't ship in acrylic.
Oh, okay.
I don't have
never,
one of those.
ever get shipped in acrylic, ever. And if you do ship it in acrylic, then you're wrong. Because acrylic are standard sizes. They're not custom fit like graded ones would be.
And they shimmy back and forth.
There's a lot of shimmying back and forth. So you would actually do more damage to the mock in the long run if you do that.
Yeah. Nice.
So, but that is a very rare Power of the Force, a very lucky one. And
very hard to find one without a crack, too. I've been looking. I want one without a crack.
They're like 80% cracked, honestly.
I only buy one in person if it's not cracked. I can't risk having it'll crack on the way here probably.
Yeah. Do they have any blister protectors for that figure? I guess it's only if you get it graded, unless you get it just
might
custom encased, right?
Yeah, you get it custom encased.
Yeah.
I mean, CAS would put it on now so it doesn't crack any further.
Yeah.
That would be like something smart to do also.
Yeah. All right, cool. Rare. All right, we're going to go to Brandon.
So,
in his garage.
Here, you see a picture of me and John's going to insert the picture, I hope. I'll send it to him. Maybe I already did. Did I already send it to you? I probably already did. A couple weeks ago, I was invited to a Formula Drift race.
Oh, yeah.
And I was lucky enough to walk the track. And the guy that runs the Formula Drift races, I think he's like one of the head operations guys there. He runs a Star Wars autograph group that I'm a part of on Facebook, and he invited some of us local people up to go hang out and go to the race for the day. And we get to hang out with a couple people from Mandalorian and from Book of Boba, a couple of the actors. So I got to hang out with
What a life.
the main man, Brendan Wayne, who is the main guy that he's the Mandalorian basically. When Pedro does not show his face, it is Brendan Wayne walking and talking and doing all the stuff. So he is the main actor for the Mandalorian. So he was there. Got to talk to him quite a while, and you know, not only about Mandalorian stuff. He was showing us pictures from, you know, the set and some of the stuff that people don't get to see on you know, every day. So that was really cool to get to talk to him, and I got to talk to one of the stuntmen from Book of Boba, who played one of the Gamorrean guards.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
He was telling stories about how crazy it was walking around in that suit and not being able to see. So,
the skinny gammy guards.
Yeah, both of them were really cool. I did talk to the Book of Boba guy about Book of Boba Season 2. Exclusive right here, only at 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Exclusive. I asked about Season 2.
Yes. And
It's
not happening.
They haven't filmed it.
Yeah.
they haven't even started filming it yet. Huh?
No. Tamora Morrison, who's Boba Fett, is kind of not into it anymore. Surprise, surprise.
I don't blame him.
Not into it anymore, and they have not started filming on it. So I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. It's kind of weird news because that's a big deal that they haven't started making that yet. So,
well, he was kind of like turned off as it was airing because he was getting he was hearing a lot of negative feedback, and then he was, you know, kind of relating that feedback to some of the similar feedback he had while they were recording it, I think. And he had some suggestions of doing, you know, kind of presenting the character more old school, you know, and less talking. I think he even said I didn't want to talk so much because I didn't feel like that fit. I could be paraphrasing, but
no, you're actually 100% correct. He was taking a lot of flack at shows and at cons, and he was going back and telling like Disney and all these people, and
so
nothing happened.
Nothing happened there, but it was cool hanging out with those guys. Brendan Wayne, for those of you who don't know, is John Wayne's grandson.
Oh wow!
I talked to him about his family life and stuff, and more about his dad was a pilot in Korean War, and got to talk about, you know, flying and some of the stuff that I do, and he's super interested in it. So we're sharing photos and getting to talk about what I do for a living, what he does for a living, and I don't know, super cool, man. He was probably one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever talked to, and more interested in, like, you know, what other people are doing instead of what he's doing. So
cool,
super cool.
That's awesome.
Brandon, living that VIP life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there's no way that I'm about to show you my win of the week to follow that. So, John, you're going next with your win of the week.
In my pursuit,
oh my god,
of the Black Manta from the Superpowers line,
and now we go to Rogue 5 Toys.
Oh my god, just buy it already.
I know. He refuses to do it.
Oh.
I got a Micro Galaxy Squadron B-Wing.
That's sweet.
What face is on the pilot?
This one is
I heard it was number 3.
Well, it's got the face shield down, so you can't really tell.
Oh.
It's U.S. Canada vintage only, guys. Sorry.
But yeah, this is the Series 5. Let's see, let me get it over here. Series 5 of the Micro Galaxy Squadron, and they finally have a B-Wing. So yeah, I was super excited to see that.
How is that different than the Action Fleet from the 90s?
Fleet?
Action Fleet from the 90s, remember?
Yeah. They're a little bit different. I mean, these are plastic, and those were those die?
Those were plastic.
Were those plastic too? This is just like a rehashing of the micro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The micro fleet, but
Yeah, it's kind of like the vintage collection ships. You know, they brought them.
But it's pretty cool. I think it's a little bit smaller, actually.
Did you get two of them?
I've got the action fleet. Did I get two of them?
You're gonna open one?
I don't know if I'm gonna open one because look, this guy's little bitty. I mean, look.
Yeah.
He's
you got to get him in that cockpit, though.
Tiny. I'm afraid I'm going to lose him.
But, Chris, are you imagining him dancing around in his underwear in the house with that?
listening to Madonna.
Yeah. Like a Prayer is playing as loud as can be, and he's flying around the house.
100%.
Yep.
Anyway, that's my win of the week. It's pretty
cool. Nice.
Oh, that is so much of a softer landing for me. I was not gonna follow VIP Brandon with the whole Mandalorian cast.
I don't mind following a home run, honestly. I'm good.
I have a nice goofy oddball one to share with you guys. I guess I should get myself on the screen here, but
what is that?
Oh, Kyle A's pants are getting tight.
Is that a card?
Tight.
So I have my. So
this is the portion of the episode where
everybody tunes out.
Please join our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/5idiotstalkingtoys and support us there. Choose a level of support for us, and all the money goes right back into the show. And we thank you for joining us every week, and would love to have you over on Patreon where we have special episodes. We have After Dark. We have collections that are presented by Chris that are going to be for sale on Rogue 5 Toys, and we have Brandon's Bounty or Hunting or whatever that is. All right, Shane, back to you.
So I have 3 of these cards here. I'll show you the last one. These are drawing board greeting cards.
Whoa, what is going on there?
With Leia?
I don't know. What is he doing? He's pointing.
Oh my gosh! Is he pulling the?
He's pointing to something.
Oh, he's pointing. It looks like he's pulling the knot out of her belt.
The knot.
Yeah.
So Paplu and Leia, but these are these are like birthday cards. Nice. They're in amazing shape. Never been like used or anything, but they've each got a saying inside. Cheesy.
Perfectly fitting for that card.
Cheesy saying. Hope you're having a whatever.
A royal time.
This one is really pretty cool though. I like how it's like kind of die cut out around the figures. And it's got, another saying in there. Yeah. But I got this as a set. It's, it's got the original envelopes and everything, but an unused vintage set. What are these from? 83, I would assume? 84? 83. Yeah, so they came out right with Return of the Jedi. I don't know. I don't know much about them. I don't know how many different variations there were or not, but
I'd say the Star Wars marketing machine was well oiled by 1983, so they knew to get all that stuff out.
So, one of those things where I'm like, can't believe this was sitting somewhere where somebody, never used in a box somewhere. But those are kind of cool just to throw in the back of the shelf. They don't take up any space, and you can put some figures and stuff in front of them.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that's my win of the week. People who watch the show know I'm a fan of oddballs, silly stuff like that. Not expensive stuff. It's fun stuff to collect that doesn't cost, more than $15 or so.
Break the bank.
And now it's time for everyone's sort of favorite part of the episode. We don't always have a whiff, but it's time for the whiff of the week. Christopher, whiff it up for us. Story time with Christopher.
So, in my pursuit of finding...
Oh, God, here we go.
Vintage Star Wars collection.
I'm talking
about my pursuit of finding vintage Star Wars collections. I come across a lot of emails every once in a while, whether it's people that email me directly or it's forwarded through John Ruler or just, honestly, just a lot of people in the group. A lot of people send people my way. So a collection came my way, and it was a guy that lived in California, kind of by Brandon's area.
Oh, in the north?
In the north.
Right.
It was at the northeast section of California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, I mean, is it a real whiff? No, but it was more of like a funny whiff because he said he was like, I'll ship them, but I really don't want to ship these mocks. But are you interested in buying them? And I want to say it was like last 17 mocks. It was give or take around 20 of them. And me being me, I straight out said, well, I don't really want to go through all the work of pricing this out unless you're positively sure you're willing to ship. And he said, no, I'll ship it if the price is right. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So then I priced it all out, and I pretty much don't hear anything back. So I just happened to be talking to Brandon, and I said, oh, Brandon, by the way, this guy lives in your area. I did mention to him, instead of me buying it and shipping it, maybe you can meet up with him and you can pick them up. And if you want to sell them on your end, we can split it. We can, however you want to do it. Let's just try and get them. So a couple of days go by. Brandon messaged me back and he goes, look what showed up over here in California. It was the same collection of mocks that was sold and bought by somebody else. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, that's a little weird. Do I get offended by it? No, because it happens a lot. But I just don't like when people waste my time. And that's kind of what it felt like. It was a time waster, especially when there really wasn't a response back. And then it was funny that Brandon was like, oh, I just saw the same collection pop up by me and it was bought and sold by somebody that he knows. And it happened to be tagged. And that guy who bought it, the guy who tagged him was Thomas Meyer. So he ended up tagging a guy that was in California who ended up buying it. And it was just funny because it's like, here I am, and again, I don't really have time to waste. I'm just so busy with the kids.
So busy.
I am with the kids. It's constant. Every time you sit down, someone wants a snack or drink or something. So you're always getting up every 4 seconds.
It doesn't get any better.
I just want to make sure that when I'm doing these things, the person is aware that, that they know what the deal is. And when you don't hear a response back, whatever, you always get mad because you can at least get a response back and say, thank you, not interested, or whatever. So when you don't hear anything back and then all of a sudden it just shows up in Brandon's feed one day on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, I just found it funny. And I'm like, all right, well, these are the exact same mocks that I was. You
were looking at the pictures and you're like, no, those came in. I was like, these are the same ones, man.
Yeah. I was trying so hard to prove that they weren't, but they were 100% the same ones.
Yeah.
And I just found it funny that Thomas Meyer, who's a friend of the show, and he does shop with us on Rogue 5, he was the guy who ended up tagging a friend that he had in California who ended up buying him. And, so it was just funny. So then I messaged Thomas Meyer. I kind of yelled at him, and then I laughed at the same time, and it was kind of funny.
Very weird. It
was just weird. It was just a weird scenario how it worked out.
Did you know the seller prior?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thomas Meyer knew the seller through something, and that's how Thomas ended up hooking up somebody else with it.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
It's weird, because I totally would have gone up there and bought them and done whatever, but
a lot of times people just don't want to ship and they don't want to be bothered, and I get it. I understand. And to be honest with you, California always seems to be a hot spot for vintage Star Wars. A lot of the collections that I have bought or gotten, I would say at least half have come from California. I'm not even just saying that. Half have come from California.
Yeah, and you can't drive out to California.
No,
every time you find a collection.
No, I always throw out Brandon's name always.
I'll go pick up wherever, anything basically. I'll draw the line somewhere. If it's Colorado or West, I'll go get it. Because I have different places I can go and stop with people along the way and all that kind of stuff. So anything in California is easy. Chris already sent me to go pick up something in California a couple years ago. And that was a really nice collection. That we picked up. So back at the height of COVID, remember that one?
I do remember that one. Brandon's house was packed with stuff. His wife hated me, and she didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
Brandon
So-
picked up a collection and COVID and brought it home.
That was fun. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a good whiff. That's a funny one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
weird. It's in a small world too of
Yeah.
collecting. Like
Yeah.
it's just you end up figuring who everybody else is, and there's not too many of us that go and do this stuff. So
Well, hopefully he, at least came to you originally with good intentions and wasn't just trying to use you for a price. I mean, some people will do that.
Yeah, and that's all I care about. That's I just hate being used for my information.
Yeah, so
And-
hopefully it was a little bit more natural and he spoke with you, and it would have been nice if he responded to you, but maybe he just came across a local seller who wanted to come and look at it in person or something. All right, very good. That's going to do it for this episode of Wins and Wiffs. Thanks very much for coming and hanging with us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. here on YouTube to check out our new collectibles and hear about our stories. And, of course, we have our Sunday night podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday on the channel. And if you subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/5idiotstalkingtoys, you can get another series of episodes called 5 Idiots After Dark. It is not quite so family friendly, but we'll review a lot of oddball stuff, trailers, toys, movies, things like that, and have some fun talking about them. So come on over to Patreon and see what we're doing there. Guys, another fun episode. Thanks for hanging, and I'll see you guys next week for Wins and Wiffs. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
bye.